Denise running away from home. I wanted to tell you, Tyler, though you'll never see this, is what I was trying to say is your talent is a gift from God. What you do with that talent is your gift to God. To God. And I hate that I may have upset you. I know I upset you. All you had to do was see my name in the chat today, and you got lost. And I understand it, and I understand being defensive, and I understand feeling hurt. But what you don't understand is that what I said in love. Dude, I'm an old, fat, white, dying woman who wouldn't probably know you if we passed on the street. But the feeling that I get from you is son. I feel son. I feel child. And you're not a child. I don't mean to make you think that I think you're a child. You're a passionate individual with issues that, like we all have, that we're trying to work out. And I just wanted you to know that sometimes when we come at something from our own place, from our ego place, instead of from the deepest part of us that belongs to the universe, um, instead of coming from that place, then we can get all messed up and things can get all wired around incorrectly and things can just go wrong. We can just feel wrong. And so it's important to take as much of yourself out of what it is that you're giving, if that makes sense, and let it come through you and not from you. That I have found is the most important thing, that things are taken the best by the people in my life, the things I say and do, when they come from the deepest part of me that knows that they're more than just my child or my friend or my cousin, or you know, they're it's more than that, because all of our relationships with the people that we meet and even the people we don't meet is all built upon the knowledge, the sure and certain knowledge that we are all connected, whether it feels like it or not, whether it's DNA or not. I like the part where it says we all have stardust in us. We're all made of stardust. Yeah, we are. Yay! But we're also made of nasty, black, cold dirt, too. We got everything in us, and the fight is to keep trying to bring things through us instead of from us, so that we can try and be sure they're coming from the best place. And I am so boring. I am so boring. Every day I look at this channel and I feel trepidation because, and I don't know for sure if it's because I'm going to have another subscriber or I'm going to lose a subscriber. Would that be so bad? Or is it going to stay the same? And it's like numbers. It's just numbers. And in the end, it's just people. People like the guy that like the person that I thought was my son Joshua. Because I had mentioned this thing to him and thought he was going to look at it. I should have known better. He probably will never look at it unless his brothers tie him to a chair when I'm dead and turn the computer on in front of him and not let him go. Turned out it was another person. It was an actual person that wasn't my son, which is interesting. Anyway, Tyler, I'm sorry. I won't go to any more of your chats. I won't. I'll unsubscribe. I'll leave you alone. But dude, there is so much in you that is so wonderful. So wonderful. Once you can get past the self doubt, which is just ego, God gave you the talent. Give it back to Him in a way that is joyful and generous. Anyway, 5 minutes of talking to somebody my kids will have no idea who it is. But maybe it can be a lesson in making sure you're, if it seems as if your intention is misunderstood, that you do your best to clarify it. And the best way to approach something like this is without any judgments whatsoever. Good, bad, and different. Okay, good judgments, because humor. If you can make somebody laugh while you're apologizing and not make them feel like you're trying to transfer the burden onto them when it was your mistake for not being clear, you've got a good way of going about fixing the world so you don't have to throw punches or rockets or drones or nuclear bombs. Because I'm worried. I'm worried about what's going on in churches, because there was a prayer said in this house yesterday that asked the Lord to watch over our military. And that makes me queasy. And the only way God should be watching over the military is making sure that everything stays calm so no one has to die. Because thou shalt not kill, and the other 9 commandments in the Bible, the Old Testament, those still apply. But the greatest one of the commandments is love, to love one another as I have loved you. Last I knew, I didn't see God throwing any bombs at me. Everybody's got free will, and it's like Josh was saying, but where is God when this happens or that happens? Or He's letting people make choices, gave them free will. You don't want free will? You want to make it so that everybody does everything good all the time? I don't know that you'll learn very much. A lot of what you've got to learn is about empathy and walking in other people's shoes and understanding where other people come from so that you can have less miscommunication. Because miscommunication is awful. Anyway, obla-dee, obla-da, life goes on. Looks like I have a new nurse for hospice, a new social worker for hospice. Please don't give me a new CNA for hospice. I need to keep Lisa. I don't know as I can let anybody else that close to my ass, because it's taken a year to become comfortable with the things you can't do for yourself anymore that somebody has to do so you don't end up smelling like a zoo animal. It takes trust, and it takes vulnerability, and it takes an extreme amount, which is kind of funny and is not gonna sound right. It takes an extreme amount of a lack of vanity. I am not vain. I am not vain. And I like that about me. Other people are more attractive. I had a brief time of attractiveness in my late teens, going into 30 maybe. And then we all fell apart. Well, it all fell apart, not we all. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I actually did a very long video before this but I kept having to move the mouse because the screen would be going dark on this laptop. And when that happens, that means that there's no action on the screen, and it took me 4 times before I finally looked down and saw that I had not been recording at all. That was gold stuff that you're missing. It was funny. I made myself laugh 100 times. Anyway, enjoy your evening.